Mgtow Millionaire, Lesson 1. For the past 10 years or so, I have the privilege to work with a few of the richest men in the world who live in South America. They're quite a curious bunch, but they are very much their own people, their own men, and seated in their own ways, where third-wave feminism and stuff like that doesn't fly. And here are the first lesson I've learned from working with my former boss while I was with them. After working with him for a couple of years, and he was in the process of getting divorced, and I was his personal assistant or a very well-paid errand boy, so I have to sit with him in the office or whatever he went to take notes or do whatever he wanted me to. Expensive butler, I think. His wife came over to the office and she was demanding with her lawyer on that day that she get paid, or they discuss how they're going to split the money, the properties, and everything else. Of course, while drinking his coffee, my boss just waited patiently for her to finish speaking. And he said, okay, how am I going to divide something that you can't have? She was very stunned by what he said. And with a surprised look, she asked, what do you mean? And he answered back, there's nothing to give. There's nothing to split. We have nothing as a marriage to separate between the two or divide, or for me to give you half of anything. There's nothing there. That's not possible. He says you can check with the government, you can check in the different institutions, you can check with your lawyers, and you can pay, and you can ask for different families, and you can check all the paperwork. She went nuts, almost yelled, and she says, what about the house? The house is a rental. What about the cars? The cars are in the company's name. What about everything we bought throughout the years on the company's ticket, basically? So the company is not in my name. Push comes to shove, she went out of the room yelling like crazy, taking nothing. I'll be honest, back then I was completely idiotic, or a simp, or unknowledgeable about the world, or just a loony. You can call it whatever you want, but I thought, that was mean, that was not right. You shouldn't do that to your wife. But at the bottom line, my boss turned to me and answered me. And he told me, look kid, this is gonna sound awful, but this is the only truth you need to know. Love, as you know it, doesn't really exist, at least not for the most part. Because no woman will love you for who you are. They will only love you for what you can do for them. The moment you can't do something they require, they will leave you. There is no sense of honor in most of them. I didn't understand it then. But the bottom line is, he was saying, the only thing you need to remember from this thing is like, everyone, men or women, but mostly women, are prostitutes. They're easy. The only question is, how much does it cost you to take those panties off? That's about it. A few years passed by, about 3 or 4 more, and he gives me a check signed by the company general manager at the time. And it's got the name of a woman on it. He says, deposit this money into that bank account of that person. So I go ahead and do it, and I was surprised that this is the name of a woman. And the check was for $2 million USD. I was totally perplexed and amazed. So, because we've been working for quite some time with my boss already, after I did what he asked me to, I went back to him. I asked him, well, you have just given $2 million to your ex-wife, your second ex-wife. Because the one you divorced last time I saw you was your third wife. And I took the liberty to ask him because we had a very close relationship. He answered me, yes, because it's been 7 years since, and she has never asked for a dime. And lo and behold, she has never wanted anything from me. And I was the one at fault when that marriage fell apart. In other words, she was one of the good ones. But how could I know? You never know. Even when they ask nothing in return, you can't take the risk of not knowing if they're worth it or not. It's all probabilities and numbers. The only reason I know that she was one of the good ones was because she never came back for anything, even though she has a child with me 7 years later. So I'll send the money now because I feel like I should. because she's actually a truthful person when she spoke the things she spoke to me back then that I didn't believe. And the only way you can figure that out is with time. That is all. Go figure. I was quite shocked. Almost just like I am now retelling the story. So as I was putting all the papers back together and setting up to leave, I said, "Excuse me, boss, can you tell me one thing?" He says, "Yes." I don't want to sound impolite, and maybe this can cost me my job, but what do you think about your own mother? He smiled, took another sip of coffee. He said, "Darn straight, boy, I don't. Because I know how she behaved with my dad. In the end, money conquers all. And the love of money is the only true love that I've ever seen, that I've ever known." That's the story for today. So post comments, ask questions, and we'll see each other in the next video.